So hello everyone and welcome to day 3, where I am talking a little bit more into explaining about the Akashic Records, this beautiful, wonderful wisdom of divine guidance that we can receive around healing, past life patterns, current life patterns, understanding how to activate and shift and create change in our worlds going forward. So I've been, this is the third day. I have a live where I explained a lot more about the Akashic Records. We dive deep into what the Akashic Records were, how they really help us to shift past life patterns, how they can support our client work as a practitioner, as a coach, as a healer, as a light worker, etc. So I've been explaining things like that. So how we can really heal those past life patterns. So welcome to anyone who's joining me for the first day today, even though we're day 3. Let me know you can hear me okay. If you're watching the replay, please type #replay. And I've been explaining a little bit about the course that I'm launching on the 29th of March, which is really to learn how to access the Akashic Records, how you can take your client work to the next level. And I'll explain a little bit more again at the end of today. But if you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments, send me a DM. I've been getting lots of lovely questions about what it means to be accessing the Akashic Records, and I've really been loving welcoming in so many beautiful different healers and coaches and LLP practitioners into the course which we start in 2 weeks. Yesterday, in fact, 2 weeks yesterday, and there's already 4 little mini modules that are available to get you started for joining in, and the early bird price is still available until Sunday. So if it does sing to your soul a little bit and you want to learn more, then I will pop the link in the comments below. Send me a DM for the link and hang out till the end of today's little mini class about the Akashic Records, where I'm going to be explaining today a little bit more about how we activate the healing codes for this journey. Because yesterday I talked a lot more about how we heal past life experiences, how we actually look into the Akashic Records to understand past life experiences that we have been that we have created an energetic block, an energetic pattern of behavior that we're still living out today, and we're still creating in our reality today, and how that is really so enlightening for the hundreds of readings that I've done with clients. What I often hear is really how those past life experiences, when I relay them to the client, that they really start to really join the dots of why things have been going the way they have, why these patterns keep appearing, whether that is in relationships, constantly finding toxic relationships, being in toxic relationships, whether they keep butting up against health problems and health issues, why they can't really heal something that's going on the physical level in the body, why there's been consistent issues around money, where we have it, we lose it, we have it, we lose it, or we can never quite seem to have enough. We play out the money patterns in very, very different ways. And so how we're keeping ourselves small, how we are really keeping ourselves hidden and quiet, rather than stepping forward and being part of the change that we are really being called to do now. We know that change is coming. We want to be part of that change, but there's something getting in our way from really flying, really allowing ourselves to really be fully expressing it, fully embodying it, fully getting our work out there into the world, to supporting our clients to go even deeper, to really standing for the shift in consciousness that we're experiencing. Consciousness is shifting so rapidly right now. This is why we have so many different modalities that are available to us, which is really, really, truly exciting. That whatever feels right for us, there is someone that can support us, help us, to guide us through that, whether that's a talking therapy, an energy therapy, something else that we're supporting, sound therapy, all these beautiful different modalities that we have access to now, which is just beautiful. And the Akashic Records can really support us in all of those different modalities. So how do we then, once we've created some healing, we've understood the past life pattern and behavior and energetic pattern that's playing out from a past life experience, and we receive that in this lifetime, what we do is we create a conscious connection to that lifetime. We start to create a conscious connection of why these patterns are starting to play out at the deepest level of of where it all started. So we can start to really take a bit of a breath. Like, my clients are like, oh, well, that just makes sense. Of course, that's why this has been playing out. Of course, this is why this has been showing up. Of course, this is why I've not been quite able to release it through everything that I've done up until now. So when we add that another layer of conscious connection to it, what we do is we create a bit of a space when we heal it. So we go into the Akashic records, we heal that through releasing it from the energy, through energy work, through really releasing it, really letting it go. And the way that I do that is either through meditation activation. So I release and guide my clients through a powerful healing through a guided meditation that is bespoke. It's what's guided by the Akashic records, by the Akashic guides, through that healing process. And so we go through a very deep transformational state in order to heal that, release that, start to release it from the physical body and all the different dimensions. Then the other way to heal that is really through a 21-day activation prayer. So what we do is we create that space, we create that healing through creating that even more deep conscious state of understanding of how these patterns, these energetic patterns, are showing up. And as we do this repetitively for 21 days, what happens then is that even more of these patterns that are showing up day to day start to come into our curiosity, start to come into our consciousness, start to come into our experience. And we're like, why is that showing up here? But what it's doing is giving us a conscious awareness of it showing up. And then it's our choice to then start to do things differently. So in the space of the healing, we have an opportunity to create conscious choices, to shift the way we do things, the way we approach things, the way we navigate things. And so we can take our clients then on a journey to really understanding how we can keep creating that change, keep seeing what's being shown before us in that healing process, in that space of what's coming. And then for me, what it's all about is really when we shift an energetic pattern, when we heal an energetic code out of our frequency, in that space, what we want to do is create a new activation code in there that is then what we want to step into. So for me, it's like 3 phases of the Akashic records. It's about understanding our unique soul frequency, how we want to show up in the world, how we want to show up in our divine uniqueness. Then it's about really understanding past life energetic patterns and healing those and creating the space to create new conscious choices. And then it's about activating the new pattern that we want to call in more of. And so this is the real beauty. This is the 3rd layer of it. So it's like, then we are activating something new, something that's guided, a healing code to break free of that pattern for good by replacing it with a new coding, whether that is around how we view relationships, around health and well-being, around freedom, around choice, different ways of doing different things and in a different choice, in a different way. So really for me, what it is what I've been given in the activation process is spiral healing codes. Now, it's really, really interesting because actually these spiral healing codes came to me quite some time ago, but I didn't really know what they were for. I didn't know what they meant. I didn't know what to do with them. And it came to me in the form when I went through a bit of a rebranding in my business. And just to give you a little bit of a backstory around how spiral code healing came about and how it really sort of spoke to me in layers in order for me to be able to activate that with my clients and activate that through the Akashic records. And it really came to me through this rebranding process where I was like, well, I want to create a new logo for my brand, and I don't have any idea what that is, what that means, what I'm going to create. But in a meditation, in a deep meditative state, I was given a spiral, a golden spiral, it was very distinctive. I had it very clearly in my mind. It had a number of loops around it that was open, and it was like a funnel. So it was very much grounded. There was a point at the bottom, this central channel that went up through the middle of the spiral, which for me is us. And it was really about, it was how we ground. The point at the bottom is how we ground into the earth, activate earth code energies, but also how we elevate and expand outwards through this spiral into infinity, that we are infinite beings, that the Akashic records are infinite and vast and capable of creating so much change and effective change for us. So this was what I was given, this spiral code, and I'll explain the words in the middle. It wasn't given the words until later, but I was given this beautiful spiral, and I had to go to a branding designer. They were very patient with me, because they asked me all sorts of questions, and I was like, well, I have it in my head what this logo is, and they were like, okay, explain it to me. And they were brilliant at creating it for me, and it really spoke to my soul, this beautiful spiral code, this spiral activation. But I didn't know what it was for then. I just knew that was my logo, and I thought that was it. Okay, I've been given my logo. Thank you very much, Source. I appreciate that. That's great. And then slowly but surely, leading with soul, being a soul-led entrepreneur, a soul leader in leading ourselves really powerfully, really coming into our own uniqueness has been at the forefront of all the work I've done over many, many years, although that shifted and changed and morphed and expanded into things. So for me, then the words started to come into play. And these are the pillars of everything that I teach. It's everything that I create. It's everything that I stand by when leading with soul. And for me, it's about soul wealth. So I've done programs around most of these. Soul wealth for me is around not just money. Money is a part of soul wealth, but soul wealth is a code that when we actually understand that we are wealthy within us on all levels, that it starts with love, and that's another pillar. But wealth is about how wealthy we feel within us as a unique being, the wealth that we feel, the wealth that we send out to the world, the wealth that we receive in this beautiful co-creation with Source. We are constantly co-creating with everything around us. We are never in our entirety solely co-creating me on my own. Leadership is about how we co-create with others. So soul wealth is one of those foundational pillars, which if you think about the chakras is that foundation of wealth, of security, of belonging, of who we are. It's all of those things. Soul fire is the fire that we have in our belly. It's the fire that drives us to create a business, to create an idea, to put it out into the world, to have the confidence, to have the creativity, the design for putting it out there. Then, of course, there's soul love, which is the central pillar. And it's the thing that everything exudes from. It's like, how much do we love ourselves? How much love do we give to ourselves? How much do we love who we are, how we are being in the world? How much love do we allow in? How much love do we allow others to give us and to receive? Or are we just giving away love and not allowing ourselves to receive anything, which is how predominantly so many of us are predominantly operating on this idea that we have to give, and to receive is bad, and that we receive a little bit just to top ourselves up, but that's about it. And so the pillar of being able to receive love, to be loved, to give ourselves love is really a fundamental core of these whole healing codes and the spiral healing codes as well. And then we come into soul light, which is really about shining our light, expressing who we are, expressing our light. Thanks for the heart. Expressing our light and who we are in this world. Like, we are all unique, and it is our role, I fundamentally believe, to get to know ourselves in such a beautiful, unique way that we know how powerful we are. We know how we want to express light into the world, how we want to contribute light onto the planet through everything we do, think, say, believe, interact with, co-create with others. That it's the light that we shine that inspires others. It inspires ourselves to be more and more of who we want. And that is really the most beautiful gift that we can give out into the world, that we can sprinkle around in everything we do. And then, of course, there's soul wisdom. It's really opening up the channels to being divinely guided, to tapping into the divine, beautiful wisdom of the feminine energy, the universal energy, the the beautiful wisdom of who we are and how we are co-creating with source, how we are co-creating with the universe, how we are co-creating with every single being on this planet, whether we agree with them or not. This is not about finding only our tribe. It's about hanging out with more of our tribe, but it's about understanding that we are co-creating on a mass scale across and out to the universe. And we are co-creating with universe, source, the Akashic records all the time. So this, my crown is buzzing now. So like this wisdom that we have a channel to all the time is our key to being, you know, in co-creation, in collaboration, in equality with every other being on this planet. There's an equality that runs through every single one of us, whether we agree with people or not. And so these are the pillars, but they all work together and in harmony with each other. It's not that sometimes we're connected to divine and then we have to go into like co-create, like creation here on planet Earth, and we have to be in do. It's about how we start to beautifully allow all of these energies into everything we do at the same time. It's not one or the other than the other. It's all of it. Like we are constantly receiving wisdom and guidance from the universe, from source, from the Akashic records. And then it's how do we allow that to be expressed through everything, through the light, start sprinkling more light, start loving ourselves more, you know, really amplifying that creativity so we can go out there and we can live a wealthy, soul-led experience here on planet Earth, connected deeply to the roots of planet Earth, while also being connected beautifully to the source and the creation and the mass consciousness of it all. So this is really where the codes really started for me. This is the story of where the code started. And so as soon as I stepped into saying, I am going to teach how practitioners, coaches, healers, light workers, how to access the Akashic records, these codes started coming through thick and fast, really thick and fast. So it's really about activating you in this course as well, how to use these codes. They're not mine. They are there to be shared. They are yet there to be added. I think there are an infinite number of codes that we can use. And we're all going to touch on this in the course on like how we can start to use these codes to activate new codes of being for people to really step into their uniqueness even further. And so how we can contribute to the shift on the planet right now that we are desperately calling out. It is about trusting. I got asked a very, very important question today about what if we can't access the Akashic records? What if I do this course and I can't access it? I've tried numerous times. I've tried so many times and I don't know how to access it. My answer to that is always, we always have access to our Akashic records. Our Akashic record is ours. It's more about building trust. It's about listening, opening up the channels to the Akashic records. It's about listening to the wisdom. It's about discernment about who we are, what information we're giving out. You know, so many healers give out information, heal people and say, this is what we've done, but never give any clues as to what clients can do beyond that healing session. For me, that is such a powerful part of a healing process. If we go have an amazing healing session, but we go out there and we leave, and then slowly but surely a couple of things happen that sort of are unconscious and something suddenly shifts and changes and we go, oh wow, that was a miracle. But generally things are very slow to change if we don't have that conscious awareness of what action to do next. And so in activating these codes, what we're doing is giving the people permission and the awareness and the understanding of what we're activating in its place. This is an invitation for you to go out there now and start to allow more of these codes into everything you do, every interaction you have, every experience that you have on the planet. And this is the beauty of activating codes as well. So there are so many different layers to like the healing process and how we how we create it and how we actually manifest it, and I spoke about this yesterday, how we ground and embody these changes here in the physical world. It is not our job just to do the healing, and hope that things change. We have to take the action. We have to stand beside people that are supporting us. We have to, ripple this out into our world through action and change and aligned action. And so it really is about how we allow ourselves and give ourselves permission to say enough is enough. I'm here to affect and cause change and ripples out onto the planet. I want to do this. I'm ready to do this. Show me the way, give me the pieces, allow me the opportunity. I'm ready to take the action, no matter how tricky, challenging, difficult it's going to be. But I trust that I will be given the answers. And sometimes we are given the challenge first, and we have to step through that, trust that, get the support around us, rally the support around us in order to create that change. But the healing process does not have to be difficult. We do not have to be going through constant healing all the time, because that is tiring and it's exhausting. We want to impact change. We want to see the results. We want to manifest it, but we have to create that change here in the physical. And so activating the codes gives ourselves the permission to activate it, ground it, embody it, and start to do things differently here on the planet. And that's what I love about the coaching. As a coach, that's what I do. It's like, once we have these clues for a client, once we have these pieces for a client, we can start to encourage them to step further and further into it along the path, hold their hands and guide them through it. And whatever modality you're doing, whether that's through further energy work, through crystal healing, sound healing, NLP techniques, relationship, coaching, releasing trauma, whatever those modalities are, you will be able to support your client further by knowing where the root stem, what the unique soul frequency of a client is, and helping them to live into that and express that and shine and sprinkle their light through it. You'll help them by releasing the root cause in the past life, the time this pattern and energetic pattern was created. And then you will activate healing codes to be able for them to sprinkle that. And then you continue on your beautiful path and whatever modality that you are working with your clients. It's another layer. It's a building of trust into the Akashic Records. So everyone has access to the Akashic Records. It's about building that trust to it. It's about really listening, tapping into the guidance, expanding your wisdom while walking on this beautiful path on planet Earth and manifesting and creating that in this lifetime. Since I have released this program, like, my life has just gone into a huge whole nother trajectory that I can't even explain. I can't even fathom yet, but I am trusting the process and taking step by step action in order to see where this path goes. And like, with an open curiosity, I could shut that down and say, that's too scary. This is too hard. There's too many hurdles to overcome in order to create this thing. But I'm trusting, I'm leaning back, and I'm allowing myself to stay in a playful curiosity around what is coming. So if you want to come and join us, if this really sings to your soul, I think I mentioned this in the first live I did a couple of days ago. It's like, if this sings to your soul, if something about the Akashic Records, I don't know what this really is. I've kind of heard of it. I don't know, but there's something in me that you feel called to learn more about, then I invite you to come and find out a little bit more about the course. I will post the link in the comments below. Send me a DM, ask me some questions about it if you've got anything. Everything should be answered on the page. Everything should be answered over the 3 days that I've been explaining a little bit more about the Akashic Records, especially today. And tomorrow I'm going to take you into a little bit of a guided meditation to release something, to activate something. And we're going to actually play in the Akashic Records and to see for yourself how powerful it can be. So if that calls to you, come and join me live tomorrow at 3 p.m. UK time. I'll be going live across that. I will be sending out the recordings, or they'll be posted on my YouTube channel, but they'll be live here on my platform. They will also be posted out to my mailing list as well. But if you want to know a little bit more about how you can take a little bit of a dive into the Akashic Records. I want to say a deep dive, but it's like an expansive dive while going deep into the Akashic Records with me, then do have a look at the link that I'm going to post. And see if it sings to your soul. That's the invitation. That's the only invitation. If it sings to your soul, if you feel it's right, if you know it's right, you are going to go on a healing journey through this program yourself. You're going to be learning how to access the Akashic Records, but you are going to be getting into pairs with other people as well on the course to practice with each other, to do healings with each other, to understand this for yourself, because that's the important thing. You've got to experience this for yourself in order to understand how it works. And then with the framework that I'm going to give you, deepening your trust, deepening your intuition, opening and accessing the channels to the Akashic Records, you are going to be able to take your work to a whole nother level by just sprinkling in and opening the channels of this work into what you're already doing, which is powerful already. I know that. So, and I've got people who are not really going to probably I've got one person who's probably not going to be doing this with their clients, but just is curious minded as well. So even if you're not going to add this to your client repertoire or toolbox, you may be just curious to find out more about this for yourself. So if this sings to you, let me know. If you think this will sing to someone else, then please share it. Please share it on your feed. Please share it with people that you know. Please tag them in the post. And I will be back here tomorrow again at 3 p.m. UK time. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a meditation and activation. We're going to be releasing something, handing out something to the Akashic Records to transform and shift, and opening a channel to the Akashic Records. So it's going to be very powerful tomorrow. So come and join me for that if you feel called to. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.